All right, this is 7th grade math, page 189 in your book. Okay, key vocabulary, least common denominator, abbreviated LCD. Okay, that's the smallest, least number that can go into two numbers. That's common for two numbers. Denominator is the bottom of a fraction. So, least common denominator is the smallest number, two or more, because you could have more fraction numbers, can divide into. Those are my words. They say least common multiple, but to me it makes sense as far as dividing them into. So your key concept, I have the box written for you here. Just write this down. This is the key concept box right here. It's my feeble attempt to draw a box. Comparing two or more fractions, the first thing you do is you find the LCD of the fractions. You use that LCD to write equivalent fractions. Then you compare the numerators. So for example, let's do one here. Just out of the, well, actually we're going to do it. Let's do it in the first example, and then I'll show you two ways. There's really an easy way to do, it's very easy when the numbers are small to get the LCD, but I will show you how to do a trick. All right? So example number one, comparing fractions using the LCD. Now they asked us to use the LCD, but after I'm done showing you how to do that, I'll show you a different way that you can always use to check your work. Julie kayaks the distance of 7/10 mile. Seth kayaks 3/4 mile. Who kayaks the greater distance? So they're asking us to compare 7/10 and 3/4. Which one is bigger? Okay, 7 out of 10 or 3 out of 4. So before we can do that, we have to get common denominators. So what is a number that 10 and 4 can both divide into? Now it's not what can divide into them. It's got to be either the biggest number or bigger. 4 can't go into 10, so we got to think bigger than that. And I'm thinking 20. How many of you agree with me that 10 goes into 20 2 times? So you multiply that bottom times 2 to get that, and whatever you do to the bottom of a fraction, you do the same thing to the top. Here you'd go 4 times 5, the top times 5, so that would be 15. And look at that, 3/4 is just a smidge bigger than 7/10 by just 1/20th, just a little bit bigger. So who kayaks the greater distance? It is Seth. Okay, so another way, without using LCDs, you can use what are called cross products. Check this out right here. Okay, to compare them. Take this number right here, take and multiply. I always start in the bottom and go up in an angle at an X. 7 times 4, or excuse me, yeah, 7 times 4 is 28, or 4 times 7 is 28. Put the 28 up there. 10 times 3 is 30. Then you compare those two numbers. 30 is bigger than 28, so 3/4 would be your bigger fraction. It works every single time, and it's just a nice little trick to have in your little bag of tricks. Math tricks, I guess we should say. So let's see how they do it. They have the LCD, which is 20. They rewrote the fractions, which we did, and did the same thing for Seth. We got the same answer, and then, of course, Seth's was greater. Okay, and they checked it by graphing it on a number line. I usually don't do that. I feel pretty confident. My check was the cross products that we just did. Okay, which list shows 3/8, or excuse me, 2/3, 3/8, 1/6, and 3/4 in order from least to greatest? So we got a 3, an 8, a 6, and a 4. Right away I see they can all go into 24. So why don't we write every single one of those to have a 24 on the bottom? Okay? So this one is 2/3. This one's going to be 3/8. This one's going to be 1/6. This one's going to be 3/4. And basically, we're just writing equivalent fractions. 3 times 8 is 24, so 2 times 8 would be 16. 8 times 3, so 3 times 3 is 9. 6 times 4, 1 times 4 is 4. 4 times 6, 3 times 6 is 18. It wants it in order from least to greatest. So what's the least number right here is 4/24, so that's 1/6. So A is out, and we have B, C, or D. The next number is 9, which is 3/8. So there's 3/8 in the second one, there's 3/8, so we got rid of C. Excellent. And then 18 is the next one, which is 3/4, so the answer is D. So we got common denominators. We put them in order from least to greatest. So our answer is D. See what they did? 24. They rewrote all the fractions just like we did. Look at that. And then they used that to put them in order. And whoa! The correct answer is B. Didn't we say the correct answer was D? B, B, B. Where did I mess up? Okay, no, whoa, let's go back. I was all confident. Did I mess up somewhere, guys? 3/8. That one's 18. 4, the 1/6. 3/8, 3/4, 2/3. Wow. Did I write something wrong? Let me see if they have something different in the book. 2/3, 3/4. 2/3. Oh, it is. Oh my goodness, look. I did mess up. 18 and 16. 16 is smaller than 18, so it is B. Whew. Sorry about that. First mistake I made on this podcast, so sorry. But see, there's where the check helped me go through. Thank goodness they gave me the answer, huh? Okay, so let's see what I can do on this one. It says, to use comparing fractions using approximation. Use approximations to tell which portion of the bag is greater. Notice that the numerator of each fraction is about half of the denominator. So if you look at 4, right here, maybe my pin froze up on me. I don't know what that means, sorry. Let me turn my board back on, maybe it'll start. There we go. Right here, 24, half of 24 is 12, so that's really close to a half. This one, half of 16 is, or 36 is 18, so that's really close to a half. So it says, 12 24ths, this right here, 13 is bigger. 12 24ths is exactly 1/2. So 13 24ths is greater than a half. 17 36, half of it is 18 36, and 17 is less than that. So since this number is bigger than a half and this number is less than a half, the bigger number is 13 24ths. Pretty easy to do that when it's right around the half mark on that one. So maybe a little bit confusing, but remember you can always go back to, in this problem, I wouldn't want to get common denominators for 24 and 36, so you could do those cross products. I know that's maybe some big multiplying, but it doesn't take much to take 36 times, look, we'll just do it. 36 times 13, 18, carry the 1, 10, placeholder 6, 3, 8, 6. That would be 468. You always go from the bottom up. Then 24 times 17, 8, carry the 2, 16, placeholder 4, 2, 8, 0, carry the 1, 408. 408 is smaller than 468, so 13 24ths is the big one. Okay? Excuse me. All right. So let's take a look at some of the guided practice right here. First off, it says copy and complete the statement using greater than, less than, or equals. You have 8 and you have 12 right here. Now, the greatest common factor for 8 and 12, again, 24 can go into both of those. So let's rewrite this with a 24 on the bottom. So that'd be times 3. Times 3, that would be 15. This would be times 2. Times 2, that would be 14 over 24. 15 is greater than 14, so that one would be greater. Now let's check them with our cross products. 12 times 5 is 60. 8 times 7 is 56. 60 is greater than 56. So once you know that trick, it may be better to even just do cross products to begin with. Okay? Order the fractions from least to greatest. They were kind to us here. Look. Right away, I know 4 can go into 28, 7 can go into 28, 14 can go into 28. So let's change all of these to have 28 times 2, that would be 18, times 4, on this one, so that would be 20 times 7 on this one, so that would be 21 over 28. 5 over 28 already has a 28. So least to greatest, 5/28 is the smallest. Let's see if I can do better on this one. 18, so 9/14 would be next. 20 would be 5/7, and then 3/4. 5, yay, look at that, I redeemed myself. Use approximation to tell which fraction is greater. So half of 15 is 7.5. Okay, 8 is bigger than that, so that is greater than a half. Half of 24 is 12. 11 is less than 12, so 8/15 is bigger because 8 is bigger than half of 15. Okay, and we can check it with our cross products. 24 times 8, that'd be 192. And 15 times 11, 051 is 165. And 192 is bigger than 165. So that is good. 8/15 is the bigger one. Same thing on approximation. I feel, pretty confident in this one. Half of 18 is 9. 11 is greater than 9, so that's greater than a half. 33, half of 33. Half of 30 is 15. Half of 32 is 16, right? So that one is also greater than a half. Did I do that the right way? Yeah. That one's just one greater. That one's 1 greater than a half, and this one is 2 greater. So since that one is 2, I'm going to pick that one as the bigger one. And I believe, yeah, that's another way to look at it. So half of 48 is 24. This is less than that. Half of 56, half of 50, 28. That's less than 28. That's only 1 less. So that one is greater. Oh, what did I do wrong? Half of 56 is 28. Oh, that's bigger than it. Ay, ay, ay. So yes, the answer is 31 over 56. Sorry about that. Okay, half of 30 is 15. 16 is just a little bigger, so that is greater than a half. Half of 130 is half of 120, 65, and that's less than. So the answer is 16/30 because that's bigger than a half. That's kind of fun to use approximation. Think of it that way. All right, that's it. Oh, I was having so much fun. Now it's over. Okay. Least common denominator. Have fun. Talk to you later.